Hello guys, welcome once again to our channel. So this is still your favorite channel, yes, with the A to Z psychology with Obian Chidozie. So we are still on the important topics you need for the course Sci 101. Yes, so we talking about today we'll be looking at the biological basis of behavior. The biological basis of behavior. We're not talking about the social basis or psychosocial behavior, psychosocial basis of behavior. Today we are interested in the biological basis of behavior. If you remember in one of our earlier videos, yes, we talked about we talked about the role of physiology, you know, the role of physiology to our behavior. How can somebody at this point is happy and the other time the person is bending down and is saying, okay, I have headache. The person you see jumping on the other way, maybe a child, before you know he's on the bed sleeping. What is this? And the next day you see the person lying down. Do you want to eat? No, I'm not hungry. I'm not feeling hungry. All my body is paining me. Sick behavior, happy mood. All of these things are behaviors we express, and we understand. Okay, perhaps if I just close my laptop and I said, "Excuse me, where are you going, please? I want to take some water." There is always a reason. There are always physiological explanations to most of our behaviors. And remember, we said that psychology came from philosophy and physiology. Or if you don't see that word physiology, maybe seeing biology. Please take note of that. So the biological basis of behavior there shows you what's talking about psychology, right? So the biological basis, biological explanations, what and what do we need to know in this topic now concerning our exams? So first we're talking about the cells of the nervous system. The cells here, we will be focusing, we know first that we have two types of cells in the nervous system. You know, cell is the smallest unit of life, like we all know in secondary schools we're coming from. So here we have two types of cell majorly. Just for emphasis, yes, the neural cells and the glial cells. The glial cells are not the major cells of the nervous system, even though they are always like fatty cells like the oligodendrocyte, the Schwann cells, and the metrocytes, but that is not the ones we're talking about, and that is not the one necessary for this course. The ones very necessary here is the neural cells. The neural cells of the nervous system, that is, we call them the neurons. Yes, they are the cells that aid communications in the brain. All the part of our body, our brain, majorly, yes, brain this time, sorry, is made up of neurons. Yes, they are made up of neurons. For example, I just brought up an information here. I just said we have neural and glial cells, that is neurons and glia. You know, if this is a new information you just learned, we understand that research showed that once a new information comes up, a new neuron is grown in the body, in the brain. Yes, a new neuron is grown. So you see that neurons are, in fact, everything about our brain is neurons. Yes, for you to process information, for you to take it in, take it out, we're talking about neurons. For your left part of the brain to know what the other part is saying, you need these neurons to be taking these activities here and there. We may not necessarily talk about the parts of these neurons for this course. The major thing we need to know here is the types of neurons. Yes, the parts of these neurons, the dendrites, the synapse, yeah, the synaptic gap, the synaptic vesicles, the axons, they may not be necessary here, but majorly we understand that we have some types of neurons. Yes, we have the interneuron, the motor neurons, and the sensory neurons. The sensory neurons are the ones that helps the sense organs, or that connect to the sense organs. Yes, both the sense of touch, that is the tactile or haptic senses, both the auditory senses, sense of hearing, the visual senses, sense of sight, yes, the olfactory senses, and the gustatory senses. Olfactory is smell, and then gustatory, yes, that is the sense of taste. We will not go in detail in that respect for this course. Yes, so but we know we have sensory neurons, which I just explained. Then we have the motor neurons. The motor neurons are the neurons that helps movement. You know, we talk about proprioceptive senses and kinesthetic senses. So how do you know when you want to fall down? How do you know when you are moving around or in a round motion? So motor neurons are majorly the ones that help you to move around, walk around, jump around, for you to ride, raise your hand, carry something. Motor neurons are the ones involved in that. And another one is the interneuron. Interneurons are the neurons that connect the sensory and the motor neurons. Yes, these are the three major neurons we need to know for now. Other courses will take care of other things about these cells of the nervous system. Meanwhile, we continue again. The next topic under this biological basis of behavior is the nervous system. The nervous system, we are also giving it a small touch, surface touch, specific for the course, Sci 101. Maybe next semester there will be a deeper aspect of it. Yes, but the nervous system, as we know from secondary schools, yes, or from our high schools, that they are divided into two parts. Yes, the central nervous system, CNS, and the peripheral nervous system, which is the PNS. So the central nervous system, as we also understand, is also into two, where we have the brain and the spinal cord. We have the brain and the spinal cord. Yes. And then the peripheral nervous system is also into two. There we have the autonomic nervous system and the somatic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system and the somatic nervous system. That is the two parts of the peripheral nervous system. So the brain will be taken care of in another course, but we understand that is where information are stored. Yes, and that is where we also retrieve it from. We will not discuss about the parts, body, metacephalon, the diencephalon, and other parts of it, the midbrain, the hindbrain, the corpus callosum, the hippocampus, amygdala. We will not talk about them in this course. Yes, but majorly we know that every thinking process, every problem solving capacity, and everything, intelligence and everything, those are the activities of the brain. Yes, every interpretation we give to everything we receive from the sense organs happen in this place, the brain. Apart from some reflex behavior, yes, some reflex behavior like blinking of the eyes or trying to react to a touch, or yes, these are the activities of the peripheral, the spinal cord, So the information carried from other parts of the brain, the body, by the efferent nerve is taken from the spinal cord. Yes. So like we mentioned before, we have the peripheral nervous systems. There we talked about the autonomic nervous system. This is a very important aspect of our nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is also divided into the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. It is very important because it's very key to our survival. Imagine, okay, they play a very big role in our emotions, you know. So the sympathetic nervous system is responsible to trigger the fight or flight hormone. The fight or flight hormone that helps us to either to fight against an imminent danger or to flight or flee. Yes, run away. That is the sympathetic nervous system. And after all those troubles, you need to calm down. That is the activity of the parasympathetic nervous system. On the other way around, we have the somatic aspect of the nervous system, that is the peripheral nervous system, which considers the efferent and the afferent nerves. Yes, the efferents carry information from the body to the brain, while the afferent nerves carry information from the brain to the body or the other aspect of your body. So that is the part we talk about when we say the biological basis of behavior, the detailed analysis of how these things play roles in whom you are, your personality, your person. They will be taken care of in subsequent times as you go deep into your life as a psychology student. Yes, thank you very much.